So let's move on to the best wide receivers in Bucs history, Stank. This one is I feel like we finally have arrived to a position that is rich in Bucs history, in my opinion. Obviously, right off the Mike Evans, okay? Mike Evans, greatest offensive weapon, in my opinion, in Bucs history. Not even close. He's clearly the best wide receiver we have ever had and maybe ever will have. Who knows what Emeka does, but I see what Evans has done pretty damn difficult to surpass. So Mike Evans is on that spot as a wide receiver. So we're going to go, if we were laying this out as 11, on a field, to be left Y, Y or an X receiver here, Stank. So we got Mike Evans. We got 3 more spots. Okay, we got a history here. We got Jaquez Green's, again, a stint. Riedel Anthony's stint. Horace Copeland for the old folks who threw up 2 touchdowns in one game on Deion fucking Sanders, by the way. That was like his greatest moment, but not good enough to be a top 50 Buck, right? We got the Joey Galloways of the world.
Yeah, I think you're missing a guy who's here right now that deserves to be on that list.
Chris Godwin.
Absolutely. Fucking Chris Godwin needs to be on that list.
All right.
The offensive list is kind of crazy because we didn't
living
really sustained fucking success, and there's guys like Mark Carrier who I'm gonna absolutely stand on the table for, because for me he was like my first exposure to a real star receiver, because Kevin House was good, but I wasn't watching the games like I do now. And so there'll be a lot of OG fans that want Kevin House, but for absolutely no argument, Chris Godwin deserves to be one of the 4 on this list.
What's funny about this list is that we're kind of living in the golden age of this team's franchise, or this franchise's offense, right? We didn't really have this a long time ago, but I do have to ask about Keenan McCardell. Guy was unbelievable with Jimmy Smith in Jacksonville before he came here and became a Buck, and then he continued to be an absolute stud. Unbelievable Super Bowl performance, unbelievable stretch of years as a Buck. I could put him in that list. How about the guy who brought Mike Evans along and taught him how to be a pro? Vincent Jackson, rest in peace. Okay, there's another guy. Was he good enough to make this list, though? Was Keenan McCardell?
Bad football teams, but he, Keenan McCardell, I put like in the Tom Brady argument. Where I don't feel like
here for a while though.
He was here, 3-4 years, maybe?
I think 4 years, and he was good all 4 years. It was almost like a weird resurgence.
I don't think, obviously I do because of the Super Bowl, but I still think Jacksonville when I think of Keenan McCardell in the weirdest way, because he would
be in their top 50 easily.
Yeah, bro. So it's hard for me to be like, we take him, we put him on. I mean, had he played here for 10 years, easily one of the most talented, guy who just his lunch pail, fucking wasn't a me guy, the antithesis of fucking.
I know, but I'm with Crown,
which is another one.
I still consider Keenan to be a Buck, man, more than a Jaguar, because he was here long enough for that impact. I felt it. Was he good enough as a Buck to make top 50? I don't know, man. I think it's like kind of right there, 50-50. Ike Hilliard was awesome for the Bucs for a little bit, but he was only on, great on third downs, and he was only here for a little bit. Not good enough stat-wise. How about Joey Galloway, Stank? How about Joey fucking Galloway?
Another guy who
kind of in that McCardell.
Yeah, and that McCardell argument. I mean, they had such an impact because we had no stars on offense ever.
He had one play.
Yeah, exactly. We just got a guy who could take the top off. Still to me, him and AB probably the most dynamic receivers we've ever had. And God, I'd like to have him on the list. Vincent Jackson, he deserves to be part of the argument. Because I don't think Mike Evans is the player he is without him. But does that mean you deserve to be on the list? No. I don't know. Mark Carrier deserves to be on this list, even though he finished his career in Carolina and had some good seasons there. I feel like Mark needs to be on that list.
All right, so we've got Mark Carrier, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. We got one more spot technically here for the wide receivers. I'm trying to think back really of some of these dudes that were good for a good stretch. And
damn, Lawrence Dawsey is on the list that I'm looking at, bro. All old school Florida State fans remember Lawrence Dawsey. Dawsey, I because I followed the draft because I was looking for players to save us. I was so excited when we got Lawrence Dawson, and he ended up having a pretty decent career here. But, Julio Jones Croc said, yeah, maybe you could argue that Julio's the should be on the list. And no, definitely not Julio. Kevin House is another guy. I mean, we could pick two older names because Kevin
Keyshawn
put up numbers.
No, not Keyshawn.
In an era where we didn't really fucking have much. So, God, it's a tough one to add to that. God, Sam, I'm going to let you pick. I feel like I've picked the last with Ricky Bell. I'm going to let you pick the fourth receiver here because there's just so many that are bunched together. They could argue.
Deshaun Jackson.
I don't like Deshaun Jackson.
No, we don't like. Nobody likes.
I didn't like him when he was here.
All right, so
after he left,
you said Mark Carrier. We said Carrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's on the list.
Mark Carrier's on the list.
I feel like it's Kevin House. A lot of old heads have always told me about Kevin House. This, Kevin House, that. He always comes up as a name of when we talk about weapons from the creamsicle days. I can't find another guy I want to throw on this list from the alarm clock era, from the Trent Dilfer era, and from the Tom Brady Baker era that we haven't already listed that deserves to be on this list. Could some current guys be on this list one day? Maybe, sure. I mean, we have a couple of dogs. They're really young right now.
I mean, it's a different list if we're drafting players, right?
Absolutely different list.
100% because you're taking AB, you're probably taking Galloway over Carrier. If we're doing like all fucking fantasy list, which would be a fun list to do, those guys, I mean, AB should be, if he wasn't, and he probably still will be a Hall of Famer. It's going to be the weirdest.
So I think it feels right to go modern era and old school, tip of the cap. So we'll go House, Carrier, Godwin, and Mike Evans for the wide receiver room. We've got a first team and a second team with these four guys. I think this is a pretty solid room there. Unless you have anyone else to add last minute, Stank, I believe that is it. I really thought Michael Clayton would be on this list when I was younger and watching him play, but he just did not get to that list, man. He just did not make it. I
thought Aurelius Ben would be on this list when I was a kid.
I mean, why not? Mike Williams. How about Beard Gang? Dude should have been on that list.
Brother, so many guys who were going to be the guy, right? Yeah. All Michael Clayton, all those guys. You're like, we're finally going to get that super. Mike Evans,
Maurice Stovall.
How about we had so many guys who we thought were going to be Mike Evans before Mike Evans, and now that we have a Mike Evans, it's like, all right, compare Mike Evans to any of the guys on this list. No disrespect,
it feels unfair now.
It's not none of them deserve to be in that realm. And Chris is going to put up, crazy numbers, especially if he finishes his career here and is able to bounce back from that injury. Because him and Baker have a crazy chemistry. We can talk about the season this year, and we will talk about, what Chris could be in this offense and what he was, during the first half of the season last year. It's going to be nuts if that guy stays healthy.